Do you guys have a massive GMC Yukon from 15 to 20 and you demand the best lighting for it? In this video, I'm going to go from front to back and tell you exactly what we recommend at Headlight Revolution for your vehicle. These LED bulbs will fit any halogen light. Visit our website for on-street use regulations. So let's get started. We already know that your headlights suck from the factory. These halogen babies right here, they're absolutely terrible. The beam pattern's terrible. The light output is terrible. They are literally unsafe to drive with. Now my favorite headlight for this is the Morimoto XP LED headlight. No, I'm not biased. They look badass. They have a sequential turn signal. They're super bright and they're pretty easy to install. That's not what I'm going over today. What I'm going to go over is the bulbs. What's the best bulb for this vehicle? What has the best light output? What has the best beam pattern? Here's the product lineup I'm going to use in today's video. For low beam on this Yukon, I'm going to use the GTR Lighting Ultra 2 bulb. It's tried and true, it's incredibly bright, it's got a very consistent beam pattern, and we've grown to love it. For high beam, we're using the CSP mini bulb. Really, this is one of the only bulbs that we could get to fit in there. The base has to be really small in order to fit that dust cover back on. You do not want to install these without the dust cover. The fog lights, we're going to be using an SV4 bulb. SV4 maintains the same color as the headlights we're installing, so they will match when you look at the vehicle. They're also incredibly bright. For the license plate, we're going to use the GTR Lighting CAN bus bulb. These have 10 LED chips on them. They're super bright, and because they're CAN bus, you won't have any flickering issues. Last but surely not least, we're using the GTR Lighting Ultra Reverse Light. These things are incredibly bright and they'll keep you so much safer as you back up. The first step to remove these bulbs is to pop the hood. So get in there, pop that, and we're going to be working on the passenger side because the driver's side is really open. It's really easy to get to. But the passenger side, you have this air box to remove. You start with this sensor right here. You've got to pull up this little red tab here. It's pretty simple. Then you press that and it comes off just like this. The next step in removing this air box is to grab a flathead screwdriver and just loosen this up quite a bit. We're going to be pushing this forward so that way this box can have some room to be picked out of there. Now you just kind of wiggle it back and forth until it comes on off. There we go, you can set that right there. Another thing we have to do is on this cord here, we have to remove this so that way we can pull this airbox out. It's attached to this. It's kind of hard, you just got to work it and eventually it will come on out. Now that your airbox is loose, you can grab it from the vehicle and remove it. Just kind of work it out and you're good to go. Now we got this little dust shield right here we got to remove. There's 2 push pins as well, just holding it on right here. Take a flat pry tool, you can take a flat screwdriver, you can even use needle nose pliers if you want to. These things are kind of in there pretty well. Do the same thing for the other side, remove that clip. With those removed, you can now lower this cover and reach your low beam here. Counterclockwise twist. You can pull the dust cap off, turn it counterclockwise, pull it on out. This tab right here, just give it the push, and now this guy is free to be taken out. Now you can grab your aftermarket LED bulb. In this case, I'm going to be installing the GTR Lighting Ultra 2. This is tried and true. I've installed it in so many vehicles, not to mention the most incredible beam pattern. It's usually very consistent. You line up the tabs, you push it in, and one thing you'll notice that these connectors on this bulb are very well made. Now, the one thing this bulb does have is a driver. That driver does fit in so you can put your dust cover over top of it. I'd suggest tucking this driver in first. When that's done, you can now install your headlight bulb. But one thing I want to let you guys know, these LEDs need to be facing left and right. You can't be at an angle, it can't be sideways because you're not going to get the beam pattern you're looking for. Another reason we love this bulb a lot is it's clockable. For some reason, if you are getting a bad beam pattern, you can take this little Allen key out, loosen it up, give it a twist wherever you need, lock it back in place, and it's now secured and aligned exactly where you need it to be. Now it goes in the exact same way. The halogen bulb was taken out, and now you have plenty of room for your dust cover. Push that on, turn it clockwise as well, and you're good with low beam. Now I know it's a little hard to see in this shot, but the high beam is right down here. Just reach your hand in, turn it counterclockwise, pull it out just like the top, reach back in there, grab your halogen bulb, turn that counterclockwise as well, and pull it out. Luckily this bulb has a lot of wire here, so you can pull it out just enough to see what you're doing. Just lift this tab up, and remove it. Now the high beam on this truck is a little bit different. You need a bulb that has a very short base like this one. We've done a lot of testing and not a whole lot of bulbs fit in here. What we want is to put the factory dust cover back on. Otherwise you get dirt, debris, you get moisture in there. It's the last thing you want. So for this, we chose the GTR Lighting CSP mini bulb. To install it, plug it in. Connections are great. And install it. Sorry, it's kind of hard for you guys to see here. It is there. Put the dust cover back on. And that's all it takes to replace your halogen bulbs with new LED bulbs. Don't forget to put the airbox in when you're finished. Let's show you some outputs. Now, when I say we test, we actually go about testing these. What we generally measure is lux. That's the actual usable light in a certain point on the wall. I flipped this truck around, backed it out to about 25 feet away from the wall. Since we've tested hundreds of LED bulbs, I grabbed a few of our favorite bulbs to put in here to compare side by side. The one I had originally installed on here was the GTR Lighting Ultra 2. These came in at 540 maximum lux at its brightest point. That's 237% more bright. I then grabbed a really popular off-road bulb from Xenon Depot called the Xtreme LED Pro. This came at 490 maximum lux, which is 206% more bright. Moving along, one of our channel favorites, the SV4 bulb. This came in at 580 maximum lux. That's 262% more bright than your stock halogen bulb. Another bulb I just threw in here was the Morimoto 2-stroke 3.0. Now this bulb has got a ton of amazing features, and we do have another video where Chris goes over this bulb in detail. This one comes in at 460 maximum lux, which is 187% more bright. Now as we turn these bulbs to high beam, you can see the stock halogen on the bottom. Those are 400 maximum lux. When you include the CSP mini bulb we installed, it comes up to a massive 1230 maximum lux. That's 668% more bright. So you got the GTR Lighting Ultra 2 bulb in the low and the CSP mini in the high. Before we continue, check out the difference. Look how crappy that looks. Come on over here. LED is the way to go. It makes your truck look so much better. Just looking at it, it's much more modern. All right, y'all, why stop there? You want your fog lights to match your headlights. To get in here and remove it, we're gonna have to remove this liner. And there's a couple 10 millimeters on the bottom here and a couple 7 mils right up here on the side. To remove those, you can pull the liner back, and this is normal install like you did the headlights. I'd suggest moving the wheel as well, just turning it a little bit. Gives you a little more room to pull it out and reach your hand up there. Once you got these two removed, there's one push pin here. While you're down here, you might as well give it a little pry. Just kind of work it left and right. It will come on out. These push pins are kind of weird. Now switch from your 10, put your 7 on there, take these two out. With all that removed, this is loose. You can open this up, and inside you can see the fog light bulb. Reach in, turn it counterclockwise to remove it. Just press on this tab and pull at the same time. All right, now you can remove that. All right guys, you can grab your SV4 bulb now. This is a P13W connection, and we're gonna install it in the exact same way we took out the old bulb. Now when you push it in, you just give it a nice tight turn to the right, and it's locked in place. And there you are. It's a really nice connection, very strong, sturdy connection. Now these SV4 bulbs have a driver on it. Just use a zip tie and tidy it up right here. Should be good. Now that it's zip tied, it should be just fine right about there. It is seriously that easy to change the fog lights out. Do the exact same thing on the other side and you're good to go. If you look at the front of the vehicle now, the headlights and fog lights match. You don't have this weird DRL with the ugly halogen bulb and then a mismatched halogen fog light sitting there. Everything is LED up front. This is way more modern. It looks so much better, and you're gonna be much safer when you're driving. All right, now let's move to the back. So what we're gonna do is one of my favorite upgrades ever. It's the GTR Lighting Ultra Reverse Light. With this, it is the most badass, brightest LED bulb you can possibly put in the back of one of these vehicles. All you gotta do is pop the hatch. Now that the hatch is open, all you gotta do is take off this little plastic panel here. You're gonna have a couple screws, T15 screws. We're gonna pop those out and it should be free to go. All right, so essentially I'm just gonna work it along the side here There's a couple of different clips on the backside, but this should be fine as long as you're pulling it outwards, straight, boom, boom, boom. And just like that, I know it's a mess, but here's your 3 tabs we had to pull out. What we're gonna do here is take your 215, and there you are. That's all it is holding this in. Now it's just pressure fit in here, so you're just kind of pulling it out, working it, pulling it kind of straight out, and there you are. To make life a little bit easier for you, we're gonna remove this little metal plate here. It's just a little guy. I'm using a flathead screwdriver. Same with this, don't lose it. Right below this tab here, you just gotta push that. When you squeeze it, you can pull it off, just like that. And here's your reverse light bulb. Just turn it counterclockwise, like the rest of these bulbs. Pull it out, and there it is. There's the most disgusting, dim, unsafe bulb you can possibly have on your reverse light. Let's pop this out, throw it in the garbage. Grab your GTR Lighting Ultra Series reverse light bulb and replace it with that. Guys, when I say it, this has been in every one of my vehicles. I do absolutely love this bulb. I've never had an issue with it. It is so much brighter. People do see me backing up. It's a much safer bulb. This is a T10 bulb, so when you're putting it in there, it's kind of tough. Push it and it will work. If for some reason, when you try this, it doesn't work, just simply take this out, flip it around, and plug it back in. Make sure it's in all the way. Now this bulb is kind of tricky to put in. You give it the old push, and then you twist as you push in, just like that, and there it is. Now you can plug this connector back in, button everything up, and you just made the best upgrade to your vehicle yet. Once your bulb is in, make sure you put your metal retainer back on. Don't forget about that. Push this back in, and nice and easy, don't force anything, and put your 2 screws back in, and that's all it takes. When you have that done, grab a buddy, start it up, throw it in reverse, and see just how much brighter this thing is. This thing is wicked. Compared to your halogen bulbs, this is ridiculous. You're gonna love it. You literally have 2 more bulbs that are not LED on this entire vehicle. So what we're gonna do is replace these license plate lights. All right, we're gonna use the GTR Lighting Armor Series. This is a T10 bulb. Since there is plenty of space inside here, we can go with the best and brightest bulb, the ones with 10 LED chips. That's what this is gonna be. I love these bulbs. I had these on a car for 5 years. They've never failed me. They are perfect. To remove these is super simple. Use your little pry tool. Get on underneath that, and that's all it takes. Give it the old shimmy, and there's your 1 connector. This tab is what you have to push. You can put a flat screwdriver in, or even the pry tool you just used, and it comes on out. Now what you do is you turn it counterclockwise, bulb out. There's your pathetic little license plate bulb. Bloop. Throw that away. Grab your GTR lighting bulb, push this in. These are also polarity specific, so if for some reason this doesn't work, rip it out, flip it around, plug it back in, and you're good to go. Now you can go ahead and put your bulb back in, push that, give it the old twist, plug her back in, and reinstall it. It's just pushed in. You are done. Look at the difference here. LED versus halogen. Halogen is dingy, it's yellow, it looks so old. This one modernized the vehicle, and yes, you can see your license plate a little bit better as well. Your vehicle is now 100% LED. With GTR Lighting, you also have a lifetime warranty, so you never have to worry about it. That's why us at Headlight Revolution recommend this bulb. Guys, your truck now looks like it belongs in 2020 and not 2010. You got rid of all that crappy halogen lighting. It's all LED. It's super safe now. It looks really good. At Headlight Revolution, we test. We are here to help you guys find the best automotive lighting. So if you're looking for anything else for your Yukon or maybe another vehicle, go to headlightrevolution.com. We have everything you possibly need. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The only thing to remember when doing all these lighting upgrades is that replacing your halogen headlight bulbs with LED or HID bulbs is not street legal, even though they will fit. LED bulbs aren't designed for headlights. They're designed to replace halogen fog light bulbs in any application. And it just so happens they'll fit some headlights too. Even though they will work well on this application, those types of bulbs are not street legal to use in the USA in your headlights. I recommend you stay away from swapping halogen headlight bulbs with the LED replacements unless you're watching this in a country that has different laws than ours, or you're using them in a dedicated off-road application. For a street legal headlight upgrade, go check out our other videos where we talk about the Morimoto XB LED headlight, or click the street usage link in the description below for more details. Fog lights, turn signals, interior bulbs, tail lights, reverse lights, and license plate lights are all fair game, but make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to headlights.